So, surprising PlayStation 5 update that Sony confirmed, the Resident Evil 9 reveal and my thoughts on the recent state of play, and new update on the next God of War game and its release. Those are stories we're going to cover today, and if you could hit that like button on the video, thank you to those that do it, and as always, it's very much appreciated. First, from 1 to 10, what would you rate the recent state of play? I'm going to be sharing my thoughts in a sec, but before that, I'm curious where everyone lands when it comes to the recent events. So comment below, from 1 to 10, what would you rate the recent state of play? Let me know down in the comments below. Now, diving into the first story of the video, the Resident Evil 9 reveal and the state of play. So, the recent state of play had an interesting reaction from the public, almost divided. I personally like the show. It showcased several games I'm looking forward to and new games that I've added to my list. Showcasing 007's first look was great to see and one of the highlights of the show for me, and it looks great, so I'm excited to see more of that later today at Summer Games Fest. Beyond that, I jumped when we saw Silent Hill F. I really enjoyed Silent Hill 2, the remake. I've never played the original game, so that was my entry into the franchise. Seeing what they're doing with Silent Hill F, I'm excited to play that as well. We heard rumors of it releasing this year, but I was ready for it to drop next year, so when I saw September 25th, I believe, as the release date, that was a highlight of the show for me. Another highlight. Several other games caught my interest as well, like Hirogami, The Journey, like Title, Sea of the Swords, which is coming to PlayStation Plus this August, Romeo is a Dead Man, etc. There were several titles that caught my interest. Beyond that, you go to Pragmata, which was another big game being showcased there, since we haven't gotten a real update on that game in years. It's dropping in 2026, and this leads me to the Resident Evil 9 information. People are wondering, where is Resident Evil 9 and why wasn't it showcased at the state of play? In my last video, I mentioned that there was a rumor that said Pragmata would be revealed at the recent state of play, and then Resident Evil 9 would be revealed at Summer Games Fest later today. So one half of that rumor came true, so it's looking like we're probably going to see the Resident Evil 9 reveal later today, which, if that happens, I'm really excited to see that. Hopefully it happens, since Pragmata was revealed at the state of play. Let's see what goes down. And if you're enjoying the video so far, hit that subscribe button and join our growing community on our way to 150,000 subscribers.
Looks like we're gonna have to fight our way through.
Now, diving into the second story of the video, surprising PlayStation 5 update that Sony confirmed. Reading from PlayStation Lifestyle, yesterday's PlayStation 5 system update stealthily fixed a long-running issue that plagued both the PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 5 Pro. As we've reported over the last several months, it has been confirmed that PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 5 Pro suffered from a VRR, variable refresh rate, stuttering issue that affects a mix of first-party and third-party games. The problem has now been resolved. To recap, following player complaints, folks over at Digital Foundry confirmed via test that the issue mostly occurred in games that support 120Hz VRR with unlocked frame rates. After about 20 minutes of gameplay, there was a noticeable frequent stutter. Yesterday, players who were affected by the issue took to Reddit to note that they are no longer experiencing said stuttering in a variety of games that were confirmed to be affected before. Digital Foundry itself reached out to Sony to report the problem, and a company representative has now confirmed to the outlet that VRR stuttering has been resolved. So, I'm not sure why Sony doesn't include this type of information in patch notes and people have to figure this stuff out after the update has released. Why did we need Digital Foundry to reach out to get this confirmed? Either way, this is great news, and I'm sure Digital Foundry is going to do a video showcasing the change in comparison to what it was prior to this update at some point. But you guys let me know if you've experienced this issue at all before. Let me know down in the comments below. And now diving into the final story of the video, the next God of War title gets an update. So there were rumors, as we know, about this new God of War game that came from Jeff Grubb and Tom Henderson, stating that there would be a new God of War game focused on a younger Kratos set in ancient Greece. We were all under the assumption this would be a 3D God of War game, a proper God of War title, maybe a smaller title in size, but still a 3D game. But recent information reveals this will be a 2.5D Metroidvania game inspired by Blasphemous. We've also heard it's going to have apparently better art style than Hades, which was interesting to hear. The game is said to be in development by another studio, with Sony Santa Monica supervising the project. There's also talk of Kratos' brother Deimos being playable as well, which made me wonder where in the timeline this takes place. Like, where does it take place where you have both Kratos and Deimos together, considering we know that Kratos didn't see Deimos again until Ghosts of Sparta, which is after when he becomes a god, and of course rumors say this is before he becomes a god, so it's a bit confusing where this takes place in the current lore. I had theories that this could be a different timeline and its own kind of separate story, which would be interesting, of course. Or this could be focused mainly on Deimos when he's trapped in Thanatos' realm, because by the time we get to Ghosts of Sparta, my guy is fully stacked up. He has armor and everything, and I think people have had theories about that, but it'll be interesting to see if maybe this is a game that explains how we got to that point. I would play that definitely. Or again, if it's a different timeline game where you have both Kratos and Deimos together and it's a different story altogether. We'll see how that goes. Jeff Grubb originally heard that this game was going to launch later this year in 2025, so many were under the assumption that it could be revealed at the recent State of Play, which makes sense. Last year, Sony revealed Astrobot at a State of Play and then released it later in the year. Recently though, here's what Jeff Grubb stated. I don't know if this Kratos Vania shows up today, referring to the State of Play, but if it does, I no longer think it's 2025. So this game could be launching in 2026, meaning it could very well be revealed at the September event later this year. Or if it's launching later in 2026, of course, it could be revealed early next year at the early year State of Play. Would be great to see this at Summer Games Fest, but there's nothing currently backing that. I just want to make that clear. There's no rumor backing this being showcased at the Summer Games Fest later today. It would just be great to see it. This game seems to be real. Jeff Grubb backs it. Tom Henderson backs it. Two credible people in the industry. Now it's just a matter of when is Sony going to reveal this game? But you guys let me know if you're excited for this potential 2.5D God of War title like I am. Let me know down in the comments below. And if you guys did enjoy this video, please hit that like button, as it always helps, and subscribe if you're new. I got new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And now I'll check you guys out on the next one. And welcome back to the after show. This is a part of the video where we have a little fun down in the comments below. If you're old, welcome back. If you're new, welcome. For today's thing, what I want you guys to do is to body, obliterate, destroy, and overall harass the comment section with "The show goes on." This is in reference to, there's more gaming events coming up. We just recently finished from the State of Play, which again, in my opinion, had some solid stuff showing off there. Of course, we would have all liked more first-party titles, but, still some good stuff showing off there. And then Summer Games Fest later today, I'll be smiling heavy if we do get that Resident Evil 9 reveal, and tacked onto it a early 2026 release window, because I don't think rumors state that it's not releasing this year. It's going to be releasing most likely in 2026. So if they give us that, I'll be happy. And of course, I'm curious what else could be there, because Sony could potentially be there. PlayStation could potentially be there. And of course, we have the Xbox event coming up and, other events after that as well. So if you're excited for all of that, destroy the comment section with "The show goes on." And I'll definitely heart those comments like I always do, because I appreciate everybody who stays to the end of my videos. And now I'll check you guys out on the next one.